Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and I wanted to talk to Patricia Benedict about the three Inspector Herberts that she met, and only one was the real Herbert. But I want her to tell you the story about three inspectors, or maybe two, that she met that claimed to be working at the police there in Barbados. Patricia, welcome into the studio.
Hi, Miss Veronica.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
In 2021, thereabouts, probably the beginning of 2021, I was introduced to an Inspector Herbert with, it was then, the lady was then the superintendent at the Holetown police station. I can't remember her name. So that day I met them because every time I did meet anybody, the same time afterwards, I told Mr. Williams, retired Deputy Commissioner Aura Williams, who I met, and that's whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Veronica, okay. So I have 5 statements against, it was Winston Drayton of Wanaccord Plaza in Pyra. He lives in Pyra Park. So I had a meeting with Inspector Herbert on the 4th of November 2021, which is actually the time thereabouts when I had mentioned to you, I saw someone like Colin McDonald Green. If I don't know if it was Colin McDonald Green in the presence of Jason Leacock going to a jeep. That was that day. I went into the meeting. That the first Inspector Herbert I was introduced to, he looked like a little Chinese man, bald head, pretty good looking man, short man, really pretty, slim. The second one I met, I was shocked. I said to him, "You Inspector Herbert?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You sure?" Because Miss Veronica, this man was a scruffy. He looks like a man like on pension, an older man. Gray hair, scruffy looking hair, long, all over the place. Big belly man, maybe in his 60s, late 60s. Because that's why I was shocked. I said, this man, he can't be an inspector. He looked like he retired, like he retired. So he get offended by that. But I tell him that, this is not the Inspector Herbert I met. So we talked about our cases and how he said it doesn't constitute an arrest. That's what my cases are. Okay, that was the 4th of November, 2021. Sorry. The 6th of November, 2021, Miss Veronica, 2 days after, because I think that was a Friday that would have been. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the 4th of November. But the 6th of November, 2021, I rang up and I went and speak to her, and then I wanted to speak to Inspector Herbert again because I had forgotten to ask him something like that. Ms. Veronica, when I saw the Inspector Herbert, see, wait, this is the 3rd Inspector Herbert I'm meeting? The gentleman said to me, "I am Inspector Herbert." I said, "So if you are Inspector Herbert," I said, "Wait, so Inspector Herbert I met on the 4th. He was a big belly man. You lost weight. You lost a lot of weight. And you get a nice tan. And you have a nice haircut, you're bald. And he's tall." So he said he is Inspector Herbert. But Miss Veronica, this should never be what they were trying to do. And people have to listen to me very carefully when I say, they're trying to make it out that I was mad. But every time I met someone, I always informed Retired Commissioner Aura Williams. Now, the first Inspector Herbert I met and that worked at the Holetown police station, Miss Veronica, his name is Inspector Collymore. He was Inspector Collymore. And when I rang up, it was Hastings. and they told me he is stationed at headquarters. But the part you have to worry, people have to worry about. Miss Veronica, you know Inspector Herbert, the real one that came the Monday, he wasn't in office for a while. So there were two people purporting to be him to cover up for him. It's only when I started asking questions when I said the fourth and before that, and I said, but I said when I said to the second one, but you can't be Inspector Herbert. This is not who I met. So how long? Where was Inspector Herbert, the real Inspector Herbert, all this time that those two were covering up for him? And that was months, Mr. Veronica. Months. I'm telling you, months. So you see the kind of lawlessness that goes on in Holetown police station. That's why I said legally they want nothing with Miss Veronica. That is so wrong. Anybody else, they would in front of a magistrate, they would try to send them to the psychiatrist, to the Black Rock. And I would like to headline, where was two other persons purporting to be Inspector Herbert? Where was Inspector Herbert for months when he's supposed to have been working in Holetown police station? That is what I want to know, Miss Veronica. Mm-hmm. And your station, your naked departure is the best place to ask those questions and to let people understand the nonsense and the madness to people. Those people from the top, from from Superintendent Husbands at the time, all the way down deep over the years, Miss Veronica.
I wonder if you have a picture, if you can find a photo of this Inspector Herbert online.
We would try to have to Google it to see, but okay. You'd have to look for Inspector Collymore. I would have to Google it. Inspector
because Collymore. you would know what they look like. So
I would know what he looked like.
Right.
And then Inspector Herbert, I would try to speak. It's a brown skin, clip tall, very handsome, but it's very built and stuff. But it is so wrong. So you see how he disappeared for a few months and had people covering up for him.
Right.
And those are things that should be looked at carefully, and people should lose their jobs.
It doesn't work like that in Barbados. It doesn't work like that in Barbados.
Miss Veronica, no, it's working like that now, though. It's working like that now because everything, and I have Mr. Retired Commissioner have all the evidence on that too. Because I don't only document the sensitive things I have given to him too. So, that is so wrong. That one was so wrong.
Right. So you bring it home. Bringing this thing home.
People in position.
You had three. You had three Inspector, whatever his name is, but only one was the real one, and then you found out that one of the others was Collymore.
Yes, Inspector Collymore, and he works at headquarters.
Okay. So the third one, the other one, you never found out who he is.
I didn't never find out, but he looks like, and then somebody at police complaints were arguing with me. So there's no way. They told me that that sound like Inspector Herbert, but I said no because I met Inspector Herbert. The brown skin one, the other one under 6.
Right.
So it looked like that one had to have been retired. So this is so wrong. Okay. But anyway, thank you, Ms. Veronica.
You're welcome. You're done?
Yes, please. Yes.
Oh, okay. This is Sherry Veronica, Naked Departure Radio.